Hello, Gary. This is John Mumford. I'm coming to you from Fairfax, Virginia on December 23rd, 2009. I'm coming to you with a request for some much needed help on an undertaking that our foundation is doing for the benefit of the American young people. I've recently published a book which reached bookstores on December 9th of this year entitled Broke: What Every American Business Must Do to Restore Our Financial Stability and Protect Our Future. A copy of this book will come to you with this DVD, because I want to tell you about a work that we urgently need your help in undertaking. There was a German theologian by the name of Dietrich Bonhoeffer who perished in a Nazi war camp in 1945, literally weeks before the Americans rescued him. One of his statements as a philosopher and theologian was, "The measure of character of a society is what it does for its children." Unfortunately, modern America is handing its children a mess. And it's doing so at a time when 20 million people are unemployed, or about 1 in 6 of our workforce has no job. Middle-class families are struggling to make their budgets work and to make ends meet. There is an urgent loss of momentum in our economy. Seniors are retiring with 20 years of their savings having been wiped out in the recent economic meltdown. And those who have tried to save for their future are finding that we have socialized all the losses of the last 2 years in our economy, while we have privatized the gains. In other words, we've taken care of Wall Street and the banks, but we've not taken care of Main Street and the working families of America. So this book is a platform for a movement to educate our young people and to turn around our country. We are looking at 3 major challenges that this book is a platform to address. The first of those is an economic challenge. We as a nation are technically broke, that is, bankrupt, and have been for several years. We don't get enough tax revenues to even pay our interest bill on the debt that we've borrowed over the last 45 years. And that debt has increased dramatically in the last 5 years, so that our country owes more than $12.1 trillion. And it has obligations that it has no funds to pay, totaling $108.9 trillion. In other words, under current law, combining both our debt and the obligations that we've created for benefits that we can't pay for, we've already spent the next 48 years of our tax income without even running government during the current year. It has affected our federal government, which has led this policy demise, the state governments, 38 of which are teetering on bankruptcy, including your state of California. It's affected counties and localities who are staggering with lower property values and no income to keep police forces, firefighters, pension plans for their public servants, and other requirements adequately funded. Now, if we were going to take care of this problem, each taxpayer who is active would have to write a check on January 1 of each year for $84,570. They'd have to do it for 20 years just to get us back from upside down status. Clearly, that's impossible. Broke advocates that we do a 2% financial transaction tax and apply it only to payback of debt by interest, principal, putting the money back in Social Security, and funding all of these unfunded obligations that we've written under current law, excluding the health care bill that's being considered now. There's a second storm that America is facing that this book addresses. That is a demographic storm. That is, we have 77 million baby boomers who are retiring, but their savings have been wiped out. Their Social Security funds have been spent on current operations, and they have no hope for the future from just Social Security, which may end in 2011 because we're paying out more than we receive in current taxes for Social Security. So we're spending the money that is needed to take care of these seniors who will need care and attention in the future. Also, Medicare and Medicaid have no money. That's the unfunded obligations we have, plus the empty Social Security Trust Fund. So America needs to do a financial turnaround, and it needs to take care of its seniors. The other problem is that 60% of our federal workforce starts retiring in 2010. There's no money in their pension funds because they're paid out of current receipts, and 40% of our state, county, and local workers start retiring next year. So these units of government will not be able to pay their current expenses. They won't be able to man their police departments, their fire departments, their public safety departments, and our country is effectively broke. The third big storm we're facing is what I call a leadership storm. We have a group of career public servants known as politicians who have been taking care of the special interests for almost 50 years. So our country now is a country of, by, and for the special interests and not of, by, and for the people. So my goal in 2010 is to change this. Where do I need your help? I need you to be the credible voice of a telemarketing effort to reach every household in the United States to support this effort. First, by looking at the issues as I've outlined them in Broke. Second, by making a small donation so that I can train and send students to interview the Congress on the issues covered in the book. And third, that we can build a theater-length, a feature documentary film to be shown in theaters on the issues America is facing in the 21st century and on our failures to properly address them. I would be delighted to travel to your location to talk this in any degree of detail that you wish, but in the short run, please consider this request that you become the voice of the America Future Watch Foundation, which is the publisher of Broke, and going to be the centerpiece of a movement that will engage every family in America in changing our direction. We've already signed up with the number 3 advertising agency in the country, the Martin Agency of Richmond, Virginia, that ran the global warming campaign some years ago that was quite successful until the American public learned that the author of that campaign lived in a 35,000 square foot house and had a $3,000 a month electric bill. That's not the case with Broke. We have no partisan interest. We are totally bipartisan and nonpartisan. We are looking out for the interests of our children, and we need your help in that pursuit. Thank you for considering this. My telephone number is 703-591-6600, and your autographed copy of Broke will accompany this message to California. I am grateful for your attention.